Yeah. The Big 12 is just not going to play Notre Dame in football anymore, and neither will the ACC, the Big 10, or the SEC. We'll take the only bowl and go home. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. That is Cameron Stewart of Locked On Baylor, also a Patriots fan.
Did you have to?
Pour one out. We will start with the Big 12 sending Notre Dame a very strong message, as did the other power conferences. Notre Dame said that we should have gotten in. We're going to skip our bowl game against BYU. We'll show you. And instead, they will not just be slapped on the wrist, but now their football program will crumble. Front Office Sports has more. Then, Kenny Dillingham to Michigan. Ooh. That would be bad if Dillingham leaves his alma mater, Arizona State, to pull a, drumroll please, Rich Rodriguez. Oof. Seen this song and dance before. That would be bad. Then, who's the saddest school in the Big 12? I got sitting around the other day this weekend, had a great weekend, went to an engagement party and thought, is it Baylor, Colorado, Oklahoma State? Is it Kansas? Who needs some milk before 2026? If you hit subscribe, we get to keep our job. Cam Stewart, this is awesome. Front Office Sports. Can't get bigger than that. This is it's that clickbait Locked On Big 12. Front Office Sports, baby. Check that.
First.
They were very clear in their recent reporting that power conferences, athletic directors, folks are meeting right now, and there is a discussion ongoing about how Notre Dame's TV presence is not what they think it is and not what it has been. They are a replaceable TV attraction. Just one game that was in the top 20 most watched games this year. And that now, if this big bad brand is saying we're such a big bad brand that you all have to play us and we'll go to the playoff if we want to, power conferences and athletic directors are just going to stop playing Notre Dame. It doesn't do for you today what it did for you 30 years ago. Now that we're smart and realize that, the death of Notre Dame football is now.
I would advise everyone but Miami to do that. Miami's the only one that's benefited from playing Notre Dame because they couldn't even get the conference championship game in that bottom feeder league, and playing Notre Dame helped them. But yeah, it's like, and it reminds me of that Dickie V tweet over the week of like, how can you keep them out? They're America's most famous team. It's like, I don't know, pretty easily. Like, that's not how
the last time.
That's where we've completely lost the plot. And of course, Dickie V is senile. Like, he's
the last time
in
Dickie
Florida
V
right now. He's in the waiting room.
Had a complete thought. Notre Dame was at the top of college football.
Yeah,
it's been a little bit.
It's been a couple decades. It's been, I wonder, what was Lou Holtz saying anything about that on his podcast this week?
With Lee Corso?
What was that Freedom podcast? That ever take off?
Oh, no.
Remember that promo?
No. Forgot about that, yeah. That was good.
It's just, yeah, Notre Dame. And look, Notre Dame's still a big brand. Don't get me wrong. But where Notre Dame dominates, like, geographically.
And Dickie V's a legend, by the way. We like Dickie V.
Drake likes Dickie V. Drake likes Dick. Looking at where Notre Dame dominates geographically, it just so happens to be in the part of the country that cares the least about college football. You know, New York, Boston, Philadelphia, like they just don't care. And so that's how you get these numbers. And so it's funny of like, we're the only ones with the deal. We're the ones that everyone wants to see in there. Cause that's the argument of so many teams in the SEC and Notre Dame, right? Like, have fun getting people to watch when it's James Madison. I'm like, yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think people will watch the college football playoff. And what we've seen for Notre Dame is, for the top 25, 30 teams, they're pretty mid when it comes to a TV audience. So you don't have the conference championship. You don't even have a conference championship game to play in. You have what could be the easiest schedule in college football of any of these teams that are competing for it, because you just make it as you go. You play Stanford and Arkansas and Pitt, and you just you think you have your way in, and you don't have the excuse of, well, we're so big. Like, as if that would be a viable excuse anyway. You don't have it. Like, you don't have the draw that Texas has, and Texas is not in. You know what I mean? They don't have that kind of draw anymore. So it's just another excuse that Notre Dame cannot throw out there. They'll do it anyway, but it's another just, you know, I don't know, house of cards kind of excuse for them.
I don't want to play Notre Dame. And I'm not afraid to say it anymore. I don't care who knows. I don't think that Notre Dame has a leg to stand. I just, if I am Baylor, BYU, Utah, Texas Tech, Colorado, Arizona State, Iowa State, I would love to play Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, Wisconsin, North Carolina,
Stanford, Navy, Boston College.
In my own confines. I'd play Miami in my own confines. I don't care. And if I lose that game, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to be a top 10, top 15 team. No one cares. Boston College, SMU, but only at home. No. If I am going to go on the road, if I have to pull my twist my arm, I'll go to Syracuse. Well, I'll play on the road.
Or even better, like Navy, the team that we played every year for a century now. Oh, we can't play you in Annapolis. That would be ridiculous. Okay. We'll play you in Philadelphia. Or those couple of times they said, oh, we'll play you in San Diego. All right. Cause there's it's a huge naval base in San Diego. So we'll go play you there. Like they're just frauds, man. And they have been for a long time. Like let's not get this twisted. This is the same program that sat out of bowl games entirely for half a century because they thought they were better than that. Like, okay, great. You know, and yet still they're the ones that's pandered to the most pampered team in college football.
Interesting that 2027 they play Michigan State, Purdue. Like there are teams, Georgia Tech, teams that have been good in the past, but that don't carry like that anymore.
And you know, they pull up the same excuse. Oh, we can't give up a traditional rival. We always play Boston College. But Georgia Tech, that's the team we were playing in Rudy. Like, what do you expect us to not play them? You expect us to play Michigan? What?
This is one of the weeks, maybe the only week I've ever wanted to host Locked On Big Ten. Just to have a field day.
Job like that?
Just to have a field day with the Michigan news. That would have been a very fun show to do. And it's the only time I've ever been regretful to host Locked On Big 12. But which I did have my shining moment during the poll assassin deal. That was good. That was a great run of oddity. The Notre Dame is being boxed out by the power conferences, by power schools, as they should be.
Good.
You join a conference or die.
And by the way, spearheaded by America's Conference. Like this all starts with Brett Yormark last week.
Yeah. Because at first,
finally someone who's not afraid to call him on it. Like finally, there's someone in power in college football that's not afraid to just be like, you know what, we're kind of sick of this crap. Like, you know, like we don't have to take this. What is it? How does it hurt us to go against Notre Dame? Anybody, literally anybody. Like it doesn't hurt anybody. BC to go against them. Okay. You lose a sellout every couple of years when they come to play you. You play in the ACC. Like who cares? You know, Navy. All right. How's that really going to benefit you to play Notre Dame? You beat them once in 40 years. You know what I mean? And Brett Yormark was the only one to realize that and say, you know what? We're kind of sick of this. And now it seems that other schools might actually follow suit for once.
Yep. It won't be the ACC, but they'll be forced to join the Big 12, the Big 10, or the SEC. And I don't think Greg Sankey wants it. But if not, they'll be locked out of these schedules. Teams will cancel their contracts and goodbye, Yellow Brick Road.
One last thing, because this was so perfectly Notre Dame. I saw this tweet. It was from Congressman Brendan Boyle during the week. And he quote tweets the Yahoo Sports article and says he's a Notre Dame alum. The last time the powers of college football boycotted playing Notre Dame football for reasons of religious bigotry.
Yeah.
Notre Dame went on to play teams nationally and became America's most famous team. It's just so pure Notre Dame. Like, okay, that was 100 years ago.
Right.
And we're literally talking about everyone pushing back on it. So that
the
doesn't
1910s
really make any sense here.
When signs said need not apply if you're Catholic or have red hair.
Yes.
Or if you're a witch.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, what does that mean now? Like, are you just trying to make us feel like Notre Dame's a victim and that they're going to come out on top again? Because neither of those things are true.
Coming up, Kenny Dillingham. See ya. Maybe. This is Locked On Big 12. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is exactly where I go with all of the big events coming up, from the World Cup to the college football playoff. Game Time is in my back pocket and there to serve me. 48 teams in the U.S., in North America for the first time since 1994. But let's be honest, getting tickets is the hard part when it comes to the World Cup. You pull up the app Game Time, though, and the layout makes it so simple to scroll through matchups and compare seat views. Pick a game, tap a section, have your tickets locked within minutes. Take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets. Every match, every concert, every event, Game Time. Download the app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the app, make an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Game Time. Go to Game Time. Do it today. Cameron Stewart, Kenny Dillingham to Michigan. The big piece here is the Kalshi deal. This is where you can buy and trade ideas. I don't know if I really understand it to the nth degree.
I love idea trading, man. It's my favorite.
Has Kenny Dillingham for a majority of the last few days at number one for the Michigan search. Now, this means that insiders can buy and sell and trade and all that jazz. Dillingham as the next coach at Michigan, and where there's smoke, there's fire. Comes to practice, he gets emotional, gets fired up when they ask him, and he's kind of like jumping into practice as he walks through the gates to go and coach his team, getting ready for a bowl game. He's acting weird, which is not abnormal. Kenny Dillingham's a fiery guy. This is a Rich Rod situation. You leave your alma mater, you leave the state you know, you leave the place that you love, you go coach at the big powerhouse Michigan. Where it starts, and there is a very good chance that he does actually leave. I'll get to that in a second, but I do need to give a nod at the Michigan head coach who allegedly hires his mistress at like a $55,000 a year salary.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she's at $90,000. Weird. Interesting.
Yep.
Then a lot of fuzzy details in here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Tells his wife that he's going to end it all. Not in a joking way.
Yeah. Sounded pretty, like a pretty serious way. Yeah.
Allegedly takes the knife, breaks into the mistress's house, holds the knife to his throat, says again, I'm going to end it all. Not in a joking way. And it's because of you and you're going to watch. Doesn't kill self. Police show up and detain him, and the picture of him sitting in the cell. Just there's a lot going on.
There's a lot. Yeah.
And when that domino, it's the meme of the small domino and the very large domino. Like Sharon Moore, Jim Harbaugh takes an NFL job. Sharon Moore holds a knife to his neck, and now Kenny Dillingham's the head coach of Michigan.
I mean, I would say crazier things have happened because it's college football, but it's pretty crazy. This is pretty nuts and unprecedented, I would say. This becomes kind of a, like, just the Kenny Dillingham part of it becomes kind of a greater college football argument here of like, how many schools are there that you would leave your alma mater for? If you're a coach, like, we're not talking like, oh, I played at Northern Iowa,
Austin.
Like, no, we're talking about like guys who've played big time college football and then as coach there and then can go somewhere else. There's not many. I would say though, Michigan is one of them. Apparently, Nebraska is one of them too, because Matt Rule turned down Penn State. So apparently Nebraska is one of them. But no, I mean, seriously, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, I would say would be up there. Potentially Georgia, depending, like for Clark Lee, it could be Georgia, just as an example, a complete hypothetical because it's the SEC. I think Michigan would be one of those jobs. Like, it is one of the two best conferences in football. And Michigan has a legit shot at obviously being a powerhouse in that conference. So there's maybe 5 of those jobs. And if I'm an Arizona State fan, I'm probably sweating it out.
What do you do if you're the administrator? Because here's the deal, man. Arizona State has a good fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Arizona State's fan base, but they're not Michigan. And it's hard for that to be a knock on Arizona State. like 4 other schools in the country are Michigan. You're dealing with some of the most electric fan bases in the country when you get to the very, very top. If I'm Kenny Dillingham, I'm like, man, only half my home games are full to the brim. The money's not what it is at Michigan. Like, yeah, it's probably 17 degrees in Ann Arbor today and 78 degrees in Tempe. That's a big difference.
That is a difference. Yeah.
If you're the athletic department, what is the pitch? What is the sell?
See, that's where it's tough because.
And again, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
Not that Arizona State would be a terribly hard place to sell in a vacuum,
right.
But when put up against college football powerhouse, I think most wins of all time, Michigan.
Correct. And trust us, as guys who cover the Big 12 and Baylor specifically, we understand that argument there. And the thing about Michigan versus Arizona State is all the things that you have anxiety about as being the head coach at Arizona State, you don't have at Michigan. Right? Like, the whole, is our conference going to get enough respect? Is our conference's respect or lack thereof going to keep us out of the college football playoff when we have a good year? Will this be a good year financially for us for NIL? Will a guy, who's been a good player for us jump ship and go somewhere bigger? Sam Levitt. All those things that you worry about as the head coach at Arizona State, you don't have to worry about at Michigan. If you're even close to being a playoff team at Michigan, you're in. Right? Like it's the same, Texas was kind of the example this year. You lost 3 games. You couldn't quite get in there. If you go 10-2 at Michigan, you're in the college football playoff. You never have to worry about the stadium being half full. It's always going to be full. You never have to worry about the money coming in or, having a bad recruiting class because of whatever circumstance there is. You never have to worry about that at Michigan. The only thing you would have to worry about, and I do find this a little interesting, is the reports are now that Michigan knew about Sharon Moore's relationship before the season. Oh. And then they have a down year. And all of a sudden it's like, well, Sharon, you can't be doing this. Come on. You can't be doing that. I mean, look at the Rays here and all this, we can't have that. And so then it becomes, is my job. I mean, the easy thought process to this is just don't cheat and definitely don't do it with a staffer. But it's like, am I going to have something held over my head the whole year if we don't have a great season? But again, all the things you don't have to worry about, or you have to worry about at Arizona State year in, year out, even when things are going well, which they are right now, you don't have to worry about at Michigan. That means more than ever, Drake, with the college football playoff. Like that stuff literally means more than ever. Like teams are ending their season prematurely when they don't make it.
But did it work for Rich Rodriguez?
Yeah, it's a great one to put out there, man.
There is a piece of this and a large piece of this that is home. I lived in Hyannis, Massachusetts for 3 months.
Good spot.
That's not home, right? I lived in Anchorage, Alaska for 3 months. I've got like my most proud hats behind me. Alaska, Hyannis, Massachusetts, Anchorage, right? Like there are places that you go, that you stay for long periods of time, that you really enjoy yourself to the point where you have a certain loyalty to. I've got China Spring, Texas, Cougar stuff all behind me, right? I spent 4 years there. That's not a lifetime. It's 4 years. But I think almost daily about China Spring, Texas, Valonia, Arkansas. Like, yeah, if they offer me the job of being the voice of the Eagles today, I'm not sure if I could take that. Right? It's kind of an Austin Peay situation. But you'll always be a lifelong fan of Austin Peay. And when given the opportunity to do it at a very high level, if not one of the highest levels, if not create a juggernaut like Dabo Swinney was able to create Clemson, why not do it at the place you call home? Why not do it at the place you have loyalty to? Because it's just going to mean more. It's just going to be different. It's going to feel better. It's going to feel right. Cameron Stewart wins the World Series as the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. Feels good. If Cameron Stewart wins the World Series as the manager of the Boston Red Sox, hometown guy, that's got a different feel to it.
Don't fear death anymore. Die any day, man. I did it. Did the thing.
Is the manager of the Boston Red Sox, and the Dodgers call and say, we'll up your salary by $1 million. You leave, you go to the Dodgers, you lose for 2 or 3 years, they fire you. Then what? Then 20 years later, the Red Sox call again, like, I don't know, I guess you're our guy again. Rich Rodriguez style. And what did you do but float around for those 20 years and just wonder, why did I do that? Why did I leave home? Why didn't I stay and make it happen? That's the situation that I think Kenny Dillingham's in.
It's a humongous risk reputation-wise. And it doesn't even have to be your alma mater. Like, I think Lincoln Riley took a huge risk leaving OU. And whether it's paid off or not is still up for debate. But like, if he gets fired tomorrow at USC and he does the Rich Rodriguez and he just floats around for another decade, then it's like, who won? I'll give you a good one. Herb Brooks, man, coached at Minnesota, wins the gold medal, Miracle on Ice, and then just has a new job every 2 or 3 years the rest of his career. He was a legend at Minnesota, and then wins the gold medal. And it's just, it's up to you whether you think that's a good career or not, And I just, there comes a time where there might be an offer that's just too big to turn down. And again, not for Arizona State fans to get mad at us. Again, we're talking about like 4 or 5 jobs that can do that in the country over everybody else, man. In fact, I mean, they could be having this discussion on Locked On Hoosiers. It's not the alma mater, but Curt Cignetti, like if you're Michigan, would you make a call there?
Yeah.
With how great you're doing right now at Indiana, there's 4 or 5 schools that you would leave it for. Maybe Michigan's one of them.
That's that Curt Cignetti is the Hyannis, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Where you, at some level,
Good
you decide, I'd like to be here. I want to be here. Is it the apex of all human existence? No, but it's best for me. Coming up, who is the saddest program in the Big 12 in football? Is it Colorado? Baylor? Is it BYU held out of the playoff? This is Locked On Big 12. Spider 2Y Banana, Omaha Steaks. Holidays come with 2 big goals: feeding people well and finding gifts they'll love. Why not do both of them in the same thing? Sizzle all the way sale. That's right. I named it. You can stack up and save big and in big ways. 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Locked On College listeners get an extra $35 off with code COLLEGE at checkout. I've seen Omaha Steaks as gifts before. I've given them as gifts. I've gotten them as gifts. That's the trifecta. Seen, given, gotten. This year I'm doing it again. Why? Because there's a beautiful thing of like having my own handprint on this, fingerprints, my own fingerprints on this, of like curating the box that I sent my mom and dad. And at the same time, not having to go to a store for 7 hours or build something for 8 hours. I just boop, 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 boop. I pick what they like, put it in the box, order by 6 p.m., ships the same day. omahasteaks.com. 50% off site-wide during the Sizzle All the Way sale. Extra $35 off. Use promo code COLLEGE, all caps COLLEGE at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. omahasteaks.com. Code COLLEGE at Omaha Steaks. Who is the saddest team in the Big 12 on the gridiron right now? And you can make a case. Colorado. Ooh, bad year. What do we do with Dion? 2 or 3 years have sucked hard. BYU. Make a case they're sad they didn't get to the playoff. The commissioner, the Big 12 commissioner came to the podium and said, I think the committee got it right. Ooh, that's not good. It's
really not great.
That's the, Bruce Springsteen. That's not many.
That's not many.
So,
could you argue Utah for this if we're going to do the BYU thing?
You could argue Utah. Your head
They're
coach.
one touchdown away from knocking off their biggest rival on the road, and then being the team that's in the conversation.
And their head coach still wants to coach.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Just can't. Closing time. You don't
and we have to take into account that Utah hates being in this conference. So
correct. You don't have to stop coaching, but you can't coach here.
Yeah,
that's not a good spot to be in. Oklahoma State. Yeah, you got Eric Morris, but you just fired the legend, the statue coach, and it is not. But you were bad this year. You were very, very bad at the football.
And the year before,
you could certainly make a Cincinnati 7-5. How do they pull 7-5 out of a season that looked like 9-3 at minimum? That looked like 10-2 Big 12 championship. They pulled 7-5 out of that. And then those fighting Baylor Bears. Which you could mention before, even the Kansas Jayhawks that have now been accused of having the worst GM, a grifter.
Kansas is a sneaky one here.
They're in there. They're in the conversation.
Kansas had just as high odds to win the Big 12 preseason as Baylor did. Ooh. And they did not have a great year, obviously. They have a grifter as a GM, as you just rightly put out there. I mean,
allegedly.
It's like a Sting situation, Paul Newman. Yes, alleged grifter. They're about to go through, they've just gone through 3 OCs in 3 years. I think everyone agrees you've got a good coach, right? But I think there's now this thought of at best, are we just like a bowl team every couple of years? Could we not be like a Kansas State where they turned around from being the worst program in college football to being a steady 7-8 win team, even in some of the not great years? I don't think that they can be that. That's what it's looking like the last 2 seasons. So, you got half your stadium done. Yeah. The Chiefs are not going to the playoffs. There's extraneous circumstances here. I think Kansas puts up a good case if we're talking just football, but it's tough to not pick Baylor, man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just tough, man. UCF, you
sit on Santa's lap for a second. What makes you so sad this Christmas?
What makes me happy? What is there to be excited about?
New athletic director, maybe
right now. New athletic director, man. Let's talk about that new athletic director who's been running Chip and Joanna for most of the last 7 years. Did
one of the craziest things I've ever seen an athletic director do? He attended a women's basketball game,
and they're thanking him on Twitter. They're playing a top 15 women's basketball matchup an hour and a half up the road. He probably flew there, and they're like, "Thank you so much for coming. Thank you." Yeah, bro. He runs the athletic department. What are you kidding? He could just hop on the plane with you guys, or hop on the bus, whatever it is. And so you have that, and you have Dave Aranda, and the problem is what Dave Aranda is. You know exactly what he is, and you're just running that back for another year.
You're letting him off the hook.
Letting him off the hook. And somehow he outlasts your AD who had a really good resume. And you replaced him with someone who doesn't really have an AD resume at all, actually. And you've pretty much told the whole country that you're a football program that doesn't need to be taken seriously. It's an entry-level job for an athletic director, and it's a anything goes kind of job for a head football coach. Well, almost anything goes kind of job for a head football coach. You can keep losing. You could just keep on losing and losing and losing. And we haven't seen the worst of it yet, but they're going to lose a lot of guys to the transfer portal, key players. Those who don't leave in the portal are going to graduate as their key players anyway, most of their offensive production, almost all of it. And your recruiting class dropped 50 spots on 247 in a matter of 72 hours right before National Signing Day. So as much as that's my whole job is just kind of ranting about Baylor football these days, it's really tough to pick anybody over Baylor in terms of the short-term view of saddest football program in the Big 12. It naturally should be the team that hasn't won a conference game in 2 whole years, right? But they got a good coach coming in. They've got some hope, right? They even flipped one of Baylor's top recruits from this class. So as much as I'd love for it to be Oklahoma State Colorado, I think is the only one that really kind of pushes Baylor in this one. Because you're wondering in Colorado if the coach could be a successful Power 4 coach. On the other hand, Baylor knows that he's not a successful Power 4 coach. They know it. He had a great season 5 years ago. And that is he the guy of the 5 years that's way under 500, or is he the guy that was 1 year 12-2? I think you kind of know what you have after this sample size with Baylor. So that said, banging the gavel, I've got Baylor as the saddest.
Wow. And look,
is it because I'm a sad boy too? Maybe. I'm sad all the damn time. Sports just exclusively make me sad, and I don't appreciate anything in my life. And I'm going to get visited by 3 ghosts in like a week and a half here. But yeah, it feels like the saddest.
I would have gotten to that first ghost. I've been like, I don't know, man. Just do it. Whatever you're going to do, just end it. I'm good.
Whatever. It's not going to fool me. It's not going to fool me. I know that bag I fumbled. I know that baddie that I fumbled so long ago. That's what we watched the Muppets Christmas Carol recently. What a film, man. What a damn film.
Yeah. It is.
Which one's the one that's so frightening? What was was it the future ghost that was so off-putting?
Yeah, it's the future ghost because you're dead.
Like CGI. Yeah, like he's like, who is this on the grave? It's like, you know who it is, man. You don't care about anybody else. You know it's you.
Yeah.
He's like, please let it be Tiny Tim. He's so awful.
That turkey, man. That turkey. It's a good one. Christmas Carol. If you guys haven't seen it, you should. It's an endorsement. That's like good.
That gets 2 thumbs up from America's #1 Locked On
Letterbox
Big 12 podcast.
Yeah, Letterbox.
The #1 Locked On Big 12 podcast.
Yep. I
can't be disputed, man. I'm telling you.
Would have told you 3 weeks ago this was the best of times for Big 12, for the Big 12 in football. But then BYU got left out. BYU got left out, and Notre Dame was a C word.
So what kind of times is it now?
Craphead. It's not a good of times. It's just not. Texas Tech will win the national championship, and it will be better. It will be better of times, but it could be the worst of times. Last year, look, you'll have to remember last year this time we were looking around the conference, going, "Who's even good here? What are we even doing?" Because
that's what Tech has given us this year.
The country,
I'm like, well, they're good
for having Arizona State in there. Everybody hated that, and they competed so well against Texas. And you're just like, oh, now this year, you're like, oh, we have Texas Tech. That's all that anybody will respect us for. That's Cameron Stewart. At Real Cam Stewart. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On.
I think Baylor's going to win the Big 12 next year. I'm writing it down.
Power of prayer. That's all BYU had to do, was just pray really hard.
They didn't do it enough.
A couple prayers short. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Don't say grande. And a little bit of Baylor in there, too.